thought we'd get together and at least give you guys an update on the NFTs. Kind of break it down for you on what exactly happened and why we hit this last little road bump. It's 100% my fault. It pretty much has to do with just aspect ratios. Um, the artist asked me early on, weeks and weeks ago, actually, like whenever he delivered all of the files to me, he delivered me just like PNG files, all in file format, broken down. And he asked me then whether or not I needed him to set a certain aspect ratio. And I told him then no, that I could work around it as long as they were like his art files the way that he wanted them. Um, I lied to him in that moment, and it did not come back up until this evening. I didn't completely lie to him, to be somewhat fair to myself. Uh, Within good bounds, I can work around it. The problem being is that we were using like two different completely shaped aspect ratios, and whenever we go to try to match them, something's getting distorted further than what would be like artistically allowed. So, long story short, the easiest way to fix this is to just put it back in his hands real quick and allow him to fix it in the way that still makes it look okay. I could quickly square everything without even handing it back over to him, and he could quickly square everything really fast. But the problem with doing that and just squaring it and making it all work real quick is you're losing a little bit of like what made that original image special. So he's going to do a little bit reworking altogether with like the backgrounds, the ratios, making sure it all matches up right and everything's in the right place. And then we will get everything pushed right out the door. Again, I'm not going to say any exact time on how long this will take. A, I don't know. And B, I'm not at all trying to rush this guy. This is 100% my fault. He even asked me previously, like, "Are you sure you don't need me to do this?" And I said, "No, don't worry about it. Legit, true story that actually happened. I'm so sorry to everybody involved." Again, at the time, I just wasn't thinking about it right. I knew that I could change the ratios to make sure like the placements matched up, and I was not thinking about like the distortion of certain ratios, like trying to make a rectangle go into a square on a background just does not work. Anyways, so that is getting ironed out right now. Cody actually said that he happened to have been off work for the next 3 days, anyways. I don't think that this is going to take 3 days at all, and definitely don't. I hope not. But if it does, it does, and let him take his time. Let him get it done right. I'll be happy when it is done. Uh, just just to let you guys know, that is what happened. I apologize. I know it seems like a very silly mistake, and it is a very silly mistake, and it is 100% on me. But you live and you learn. And moving forward, I know exactly what I need to do for the next ones, and I won't hit that road bump again. Um, we all learn something new every day, and today I learned something new myself. Anyways, there's been a lot of talk about what marketing, as far as NFT push, and we do have plans in place, guys. As soon as we get this first line up and out, I was really hoping that it was going to be out and ready and on everybody's profiles before the roundtable tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and assume that that's not going to be the case. Maybe it will, and I would be jumping for joy if that was the case. But let's just assume for some reason it's not going to be. So that is somewhat of a letdown. But I do have another large roundtable event scheduled for 2 weeks after that one. And we do have marketing plans in place and videos in place ready to drop. These videos can't be made yet until the actual NFTs are ready. So they can do a review on the process itself, what it takes to get one, what it looks like once they've got it, all that good stuff. We do already have those YouTubers picked. Of course, Crypto Atlas will make a video for us as soon as it's available. And we do have two additionals, and I will release their names as soon as we are ready to go with the NFTs and I give clearance with like the other team members. I think I already told everybody Bergman's going to make one, but I do have an additional YouTuber that will be dropping a video as well. I need to verify with him, and then need to verify with Nick, and then I will release that YouTuber. Anyways, um, of course, the Twitter push will be strong. Not only do we have shillers in place already that are just on our team that know exactly what markets to hit, but we have also been in negotiation with actual promoters. We do have a
Wait,
set number
stop.
of NFT. We do have a set number of NFTs that we will be holding back just for giveaways and additional airdrops for these promotional events, as well as some
Ah,
promotional stuff going on directly within our
Abby,
Discord.
oh,
Um, these these things will. Well, I'm sure if anybody, I don't know, I don't usually pay attention to these things, but I had noticed our Discord numbers had like jumped up to like 715, and then now they're back down below 700. So we'll probably be doing like another invite comp. I don't know if we've ever done an invite comp in our server. I'm not usually about those types of things. I think everybody knows that. I don't try to necessarily hype anything up until ever, just because I don't like to live on just like hype alone. But I would like to boost our Discord numbers up just a little bit. And as soon as we get this NFT line out, I'll probably try to do a couple like invite comps for some NFTs themselves. Maybe do like an invite comp and get the top three invites free NFT over the course of like 1 week or something like that. I don't know. I'll ask some. I'll ask somebody who is better at making competitions than I am at figuring out the rules and logistics and getting something put together for us. Anyways, uh, does anybody have any questions directly related to the events of today and the NFT release?
I just came in. What happened? No, just kidding.
uh, well,
Yeah.
did you?
One of the questions is how many can we hold as a pre-seller? So is the one
As a
that we get airdropped is gonna be that one plus four max five, or that one plus max five, so six?
Okay, so that's a fantastic question. Thank you. I meant to clarify that earlier in the chat. It is for the pre-seller, one plus four, five max hold. For the regular non-pre-seller, four max hold.
Okay, got you. Thank you.
Okay. And in case anybody is wondering how we are doing that, the same way that we are doing our airdrops to all of the pre-sellers, we will give them an exclusion uh, upon request. So their max hold will actually be the exact same max hold as everybody else. But if that individual would like to purchase additional NFT on their wallet, they just have to let it be known, DM me or any other team member, and I will provide an individual exclusion on that wallet in that case. That's just the only way that I can technically do it, uh, if that makes sense. But I can do it that way. Anyways, uh, the other thing I did want to mention to everybody, I do apologize about this, but it would take me longer than I think I will have a pegged dollar price. I could do it quickly and easily by just accepting BUSD instead of BNB, but I don't want to do that. I want to accept BNB. This is something that I can work out and will work out in time, so I'll push an update for that. But what'll end up happening is I will set the price and I'll set it lower than $75 itself. I'll set it probably somewhere around like 68, 70, whatever round number in BNB, whatever good round number is fairly close to 75, but below it. I'll set it at that price and then I'll monitor it. And if I need to, I will lower the price. Say it got up to like, $85 out of nowhere or something, I'll lower the price back down a little bit. Until I can get the API update for the pegged dollar price conversion to BNB. I apologize about that. I thought I had a good way of sorting that out before, and the way that I have is incorrect. So again, I could do it just easily by accepting BUSD instead, but that would be a higher uh, gas fee for everybody involved, and as well, I don't want to have to do a conversion back on our end from like the contract side. I'd rather just keep it in BNB BSC. Alrighty. Um, I know everybody's probably heard we are doing a lot of work with EverReflect. A lot of it is pinned directly on our NFT line and our NFT system. The system itself is pre-built and pre-established to allow us to quickly and easily introduce new NFT contracts as well as new NFT like front end web pages and be able to quickly convert over what we're actually minting or producing at that point in time. We'll be able to replicate these systems directly for EverReflect, and so to allow or to help assist them in rolling out their actual NFT ticketing process. We're excited about this work. It definitely will amp up after we get our first two lines out. I don't want anybody to think that anything that's going on there is taking precedence over anything that NBC is doing. Obviously, we have to get our NFTs out. We need to get all of our stuff ironed out, our systems working proper, and stuff like that before we can start to facilitate some of their work. But through that process, they have some really nice front end developers. They're going to be helping us out, helping us iron out some of our issues that we're having with some of our website work, especially our main webpage. I'm having some issues with that right now, and as well issues with my reward tracker. So hopefully, in time, we'll be able to do some great work together, fix all of these things, as well as produce some really innovative products with a fantastic team. Alrighty, guys. Does anybody have any questions for me?
Serious?
What do you understand about this? Nothing.
I'm. I am serious. Seconds. I got this. Bam. Okay, but you'll have to remind me though, because again, it's one of those situations where he's just server muted, so he'll just stay muted forever if I don't unmute.
Yeah, I don't like that though. Like, I wish any of the admins could unmute him.
I think you can.
I don't know. Hey, you're right. Hey, bud, you done fixed Discord for me.
Okay, I was gonna say, man, I
I thought
think you
you
can.
muted somebody one time and I couldn't unmute him or something.
No, what it is
That's
it's
been a
just
while
like
back.
if I server mute them, then like they stay muted on all channels forever, and then I never ever remember to unmute them. Um, and like there's no way, and then there's no way of me knowing whether or not they're muted because they're server muted, so they can't say anything. You know.
Bud, we're
It's
never
just
gonna
a
hear from Sean again.
no, it's just a
Sorry, bud.
vicious cycle. Anyways, um, I mean, I really do appreciate everybody for being patient and just sticking it out with me. Uh, Again, I apologize greatly. What I'll go ahead and I'll do as soon as we do have them out, I'll immediately start a giveaway in the Discord server for an NFT. We probably do like 2 or 3 giveaways on those in the Discord server. I know Atlas is going to do some giveaway contests through his YouTube and Twitter account. And then as well, we have other promoters lined up. But anything else I can do that anybody else can think about, uh, I will be open to any suggestions. Here soon, I did see somebody ask in the chat earlier, when is that token unlock date that I spoke about? And that is on the 23rd. We do have a smaller token unlock date before that. I'm not sure what date that is. I think that might be the 16th. But the larger token unlock date is on the 23rd of this month. I don't know if I will immediately be taking action or doing anything with those tokens. When they unlock, the way that works is they are still sitting in the exact same address and the same wallet. They're actually on DXL. So they're not sitting anywhere that, anybody has immediate access to them. They would have to move them from there. So depending on what our schedule is and what we're doing, as a community and stuff, what we're actually working on that point in time, we will start to gather votes and start to try to decide exactly what we're going to do with those tokens. Of course, the founders are going to take their liquidity tokens back from the staking pools that we established. So we'll get all of our team tokens back in our wallets. Um, Outside of that, there will be a substantial amount of tokens still available. Options that we have tossed around are burn some tokens. As well, we will be adding additional staking pools. One of those pools will be an NFT staking pool. You'll be able to stake these NFTs that you're getting now. So you'll be purchasing these NFTs with Binance Smart Chain. And then if you would like, here soon ish, in a few weeks, about a month's time from now, you'll be able to actually stake those NFTs for additional MBC. The same way that the staking pools work now for your tokens, you'll be able to stake your NFTs for the MBC. Now, as soon as I usually drop news like this or mention something like this, I immediately get questions right afterwards. What's the yield going to be? What's the, stuff like that. Again, I'm not the economy guy. I'll get with some people and figure out what's sustainable and what we can do, what we think participation will be. So I'll have to wait into a certain degree to see what people are actually purchasing. So let's just say there's only, let's give a really small number. Let's say there's only 10 NFTs that are purchased, right? And I decide that I'm going to put down 1 trillion tokens into a liquidity pool for staking over a 1 year term with NFTs. So that would never be locked, or maybe locked for 30 days or something, but you could stake over the whole year. So you would have to take those tokens, divide that by just the 10, you'd get yourself to 100 billion, and then you would decide that over 1 year time. I can't do the math any further than that, but you all get my point. It'd be a ridiculous amount of tokens per person that was in that pool. So we'll have to kind of decide what the participation itself is from the staking or from the NFTs, how many are getting purchased, so on and so forth. Because one way or another, these NFTs will be limited. And I don't have the exact time or date in my mind yet, but regardless of how many of these NFTs actually sell or how quickly they sell, they will be pulled off the market and replaced with an additional line at some point. Again, I can't say how quick yet, but once the team comes to a firm decision on that, we'll put an announcement out. It won't be incredibly fast, but it'll probably be sooner than a lot of people are thinking, as far as when a second line will be coming out. So again, um, that plays into something. Once we figure out exactly how many people, we'll always plan for, there being a possibility of 2,000 people, or sorry, I can't say people, 2,000 NFTs being staked. So we will have to account one way or another for providing a uh, liquidity reward that is comparable on the market to other staking pools. So we will have that liquidity available to match that rate. Whether or not we provide all that liquidity at one time to that pool to account for that rate, I highly doubt. We'd probably do something like half of that and then add to that over time, dependent on participation, the same way we do with our staking pools now. Alrighty. Sorry, guys. I feel like sometimes I just go on about it. But yes, that's how that'll work. Is there any questions about that? Alrighty. Well, if nobody else has any additional questions, actually, before I get into all that, let me look at the chat myself real quick. I think I did see something earlier. How many NFTs constitute a set? Okay. Technically, I think there's 8. Henry, do you know if that's true?
It was 8 to 10 last I heard. I don't remember which one it is.
I believe off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure there's 8 individual quote unquote sets. Now, within all right, so within those sets, you could go further. Like there's 2 that I can think of that actually you could quantify as having a third piece that's an actual set. And all right, so what I mean by that is like we have the cyborg, and the cyborg technically has a matching cyborg gun. So if you had the cyborg, which is just the 2 pieces, which is a matching set, which would be extremely rare to begin with, but then if you also had the cyborg gun accessory to go with that, that would be pretty intense. And then if you had the cyborg background to go with that, that would be really intense. And then the other one that I could think of that's probably going to be like the hot commodity is what I'm assuming is really cool is the samurai. If you have both the samurai torso and the helmet, that's pretty good. You've got yourself a complete set. But if you also got the samurai sword, the katana accessory, and then you got the I don't know if there is a paired background. I'd have to look to see if there's a paired background for the samurai. But there's definitely a paired background for the cyborg. Anyways, so if you got the accessory as well to go with that, there's technically those 2 that I think, and I don't know, we could ask Cody. Cody's the one to ask. He's definitely busy right now, though. But I'm so sorry, Cody. But
Poor Cody.
Poor Cody, dude. You know what's crazy? He was just asking like 3 days ago. Hey guys, do I need to be doing anything right now? I'm like, oh man, right now, not really, man. You're good. Just take it easy right this second. We'll get you. We'll
Yeah.
get you moving on some stuff in a few days.
And me
Anyways,
and him were actually like chilling in person, and he was like kind of looking at me. He's like, "There's something I'm supposed to be doing." I was like, "I don't know. That's a good question."
oh man,
I
I'm
said, "I
so
don't think so. I
sorry.
think you're good."
Anyways, so technically though, if you had uh all of those, that would be extremely rare, and that would be like the two ones that I know for sure were designed as complete sets with an actual accessory. There's a lot of other like little accessories that go with these things, and they look like they match and they look really great with them. But technically, behind the scenes, if you asked Cody, those were designed all together as a complete set. Um, now
Yeah,
and
I agree
and
with that.
now, yeah, and now I don't know, like that's not necessarily going into the rarity charting, if that makes sense, because those are still just like percentage traits, and those are still going to carry like the same percentage. Like all those accessories individually, you have the same exact chance of getting any accessory any given time. As well, and I think yes, and I need to have this in front of me while I'm referencing it. I really apologize, guys. Uh, the accessories themselves, I'm fairly certain there's an exact chance of getting any single one, and you will always get an accessory. There is uh, a less chance of you getting a front effect or a back effect than there is of you getting no effect right there. And you'll see what those are when we start the minting process. But they're like different ores, different electricity, like lightning stuff going on. Um, I'm not an artist, anyways. And then different things like that. So obviously, there is a way to get a rarer complete set than there is another one. But to begin with, I can't do the math off my head really quickly. There's 8 torsos, 8 heads, so there's 64 different combinations, correct? Am I right there? Am I wrong there? No, that's wrong. I'm really bad at math.
Yeah,
So there's already a lot of different combinations there. Um,
you're not wrong. It's 8 times 8.
okay, cool. 8 times 8, 64. So yeah, there's already 64 different combinations there on whether or not you're going to have those. Within those, whether or not they're going to be matching, that's only 8 individual times. So that combined with whether or not you're going to get the like added accessory, and I think there is, and I wish Cody was here because for instance, it was designed with 8 backgrounds, so I'm pretty sure it's 8 backgrounds, 8 heads, 8 torsos. All of those technically have a matching pair. And then you have the accessories. Only 2 of those have a matching pair. And then you have the front effects and the back effects, and those don't go with anything, but they just go with a rarity of some sort to add an exclusive rarity to that individual mint. And then you have I can't remember what we're calling it, but it's like an above the head effect or behind the head effect. So it's like a halo ring around you.
I think
Um,
that's what he was just calling. It was like a halo.
halo. So yeah, the halo effect. And again, those are not all of those separate effects are not guaranteed on any of them, but just as rare as each individual. So you might not get one of those effects, but if you do get one of those individual effects, there's just as good a chance that you'd get any of those effects. And that's and then that's as well in combination with another effect. So you might not get a back or front effect. You might get both. If you do get either one or both of them together, there's essentially just as much of a chance that you would or would not. Is what I'm getting at. And you'll see that broken
I
down.
love this description.
And you'll see that broken down in like a graph form. Everybody will have a better understanding of this once you see a chart. And I think I've already talked to Luca about producing a chart for me on that. If not, I'll make sure that I touch base with him on that tonight. Because we have it all in spreadsheet form, so we just need to take it from spreadsheet form into like graphical form and provide that info. Oh my gosh!
Is there a cat?
Yeah, it's a cat. This is insane. Okay.
This is insane.
Give me 1 second. I gotta get my wife. It's a little baby cat that like disappeared for a while, but then just came back. But it
It
doesn't look
wants in
good.
on the NFTs.
Cat's on the front porch. The cat's on the front, and the little baby cat. I don't know. All right, guys. Does anybody else have any questions for me?
Fuck.
I'm gonna have to go tend to this cat. I'm sorry. Yeah, weird. Anyways, all right. Yeah. Thank you all very much. I will get back with you all later on this evening, give you an update on this kitty cat, and figure out what's going on. Thank you all. Good evening.
Yeah.